Okay, we're ready to start the workshop for February 19th, 2026. Ms. Lisa, would you call the roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Malloy.
Here.
Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Bernard.
Here. Welcome, everybody. Lisa, on you. When you're ready.
Yeah, is, to dispense with reading the minutes of the workshop and regular session. Item 2 is to approve the bills. Items 3 through 5, they were submitted by bond counsel and Christy Sesteric, so I'll let her address those.
Items 3, 4, and 5 are to adopt the resolutions for our note issuances that we're going to be rolling over in March. The first one is the $1,250,000 for some of the sanitary projects. I did a data schedule for you guys. It's kind of color coded. Those projects are the ones that are highlighted in yellow. Yeah. Those were at the request of Gary Newbrow in Sanitary Engineer's office. Number 4 is the $800,000 for their water projects. Those are ones on the schedule highlighted in blue. Again, those were also submitted by Gary Newbrow at Sanitary Engineer's office. And then the 5th one is the $6.5 million over that. And those are the ones highlighted in orange. And those are the ones that are being rolled forward. Some of it is being paid down, some of it is being rolled forward. From last year, at the recommendation of our financial auditor, Matt Stawinski, when he was here about a month ago. You guys have any questions?
All right. Well, my only question where it says on the top ones where it says date issued 3/12/25, but the loans were taken out 24, correct?
The original, some of these were originally taken out in 24, but they were rolled over to 25.
Right.
Yeah, so this one, the ones that we have on here are showing the amount that was rolled over in 25. Because originally that elevator, when it was taken out in 24, was 800,000. And you see when we rolled it over from 24 to 25, we paid $50,000 off on that.
But all these were done prior to 25.
The ones on the top, the sanitary ones, I don't know.
Yeah,
there could have been some.
Talking the ones
Yes,
on the top,
yes,
right?
then yes, that's correct.
Item 6, authorized payment of dues for county administrators assistants requested county employees from the County Administrators Association, which was formed through the County Commissioners Association of Ohio in the amount of $305 for calendar year 2026.
This basically is just for information from them. They're helpful with emails and things of that nature. It's not really a discriminatory agreement where we're engaging.
This is, I called about this yesterday. Any department head can utilize them through this also. Any county employee besides commissioners. It's just like the next level down
Correct.
of not dealing with the actually CCAO on a commissioner question, but if any department head has a question on their department under a commissioner, they can
Correct.
utilize this.
And it's $305. So
Yes.
for every
It
anyone
used to
who
be
wants
like
to utilize.
$380. Now they reduced the cost a little bit for us.
So we've belonged to this before.
Yes,
Oh, so
many years in a row. It's just
Right.
pretty much routine.
At a discount price.
Yes, I like the discount.
Okay, item 7, to authorize payment of business membership dues to the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber for calendar year 2026. Previously, membership dues were included as part of Trumbull County's contract for economic development services with the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber. With the conclusion of that contract and subsequent establishment of Lake River, Ohio, membership dues will now be invoiced annually based on an employee count of 20. And this was submitted by Shara Taylor.
So how much of it is?
It's $550. It's $550.
We need to put that in here?
It should be in there. I don't know, price in here. It's $550 for the year. And it used to be like it states, which I had them send me an email because it used to be included in that agreement that we used to engage with them. And now since Lake to River is, they're just going to bill us annually, $550. Hopefully it doesn't go up.
We used to pay $45,000. What does that include?
Well, it's the same as the Lake to River. It's just Lake to River took over. And then
We still pay Lake River 45,000.
yes. Now just the chamber is billing us the $550 just to be membership, have our membership there with them because they're not included in the Lake to River. So they're not getting any funds from them. I'll amend that though to read. Sorry about that.
Okay, item number 8 is to authorize the purchase of multi-factor authentication hardware tokens for the multi-factor authentication software recently purchased countywide for the Trumbull County Jail. And in order to be compliant with Trumbull County security protocols, these tokens will be used in place of cell phone authentication due to cell phone restrictions within the jail. So submitted by Sheriff Taylor on behalf of
The jail they can't take their cell phones in there in the jail. And that's usually how we have authentication that is with your phone and it verifies it's in fact that person. So the problem now is they can't use that. So we have to have some sort of hardware, if you will, to get into restricted areas.
Item number 9 is to receive and place on file the December 2025 monthly financial report for the Trumbull County Tourism Bureau. Beth Carmichael is here if she'd like to speak.
Thank you very much. Just a few things.
Please.
Oh, excuse me. Beth Cotlis Carmichael with Trumbull County Tourism. Just a few things to put on people's radar. Today, we sent out an email. We're doing a co-op marketing program, and we're launching that on Friday, March 6th at Semineros. Anybody that knows of any visitor serving business that wants to participate, we offset the cost. It depends on what the tier is or what they choose in terms of marketing. But that will be Friday, March 6th, starting at 8:00 in the morning at Semineros. So we're doing that. We are launching, we've been doing the Italian Food Trail. Italian Food Trail launched in November last year as renewed. With the Passport program has 8 different restaurants. It was a pay-to-play program. And we're kicking it up a notch this year and we're doing Restaurant Week. So we're doing Italian Food Trail Restaurant Week. That's going to start Sunday, March 22nd. Each of the individual participants, not just the 8, but anybody that is an Italian food trail site is welcome to participate. They can reach out to Samantha in our office. We're allowing each one of the restaurants, sometimes at restaurant weeks, they have prefix menus for certain prices. Because of our small business environment and our restaurants and food sites, we're allowing them to choose what that special will be. For instance, Jimmy's is doing 10% off dry goods that week in celebration of Restaurant Week. So we're still collecting information. Anybody that wants to send an Italian restaurant or food site our way, please do so. But that'll launch on March 22nd. And lastly, we started working on our next economic development tour. That is going to be held Friday, April 17th. We are focusing on Vienna this time. That doesn't mean all of the businesses in Vienna, but that's where we're working and focusing on. So that's Friday, April 17th for those that are interested. We need about 3 to confirm, and then I'll be sending out a save the date for that. Thank you.
Beth,
Thank you.
where is the restaurant trip? What areas?
The Italian Food Trail is
Thank you.
any, it's not national chains. So a local chain like Pizza Joe's would be considered one of those sites. So we have 60 sites in Trumbull County. 8 of them decided last year to participate in this Passport program. So they have stickers at each one of those 8 locations. You can go there and eat at that location, ask for a sticker, You collect all 8 stickers and then you submit for monthly prizes.
Okay, so it's any area, Trumbull, not
The
select.
full trail is 60 plus sites. The people that are participating on the passport program are actually 8. But to be included in the Italian Food Trail Restaurant Week, we're encouraging anybody to reach out
Okay.
and talk to us, and we'll help them figure out how they want to promote themselves through that week.
Okay.
Well, have we contacted the restaurants? I mean, are they aware of this or? Did you initially make a call or send a letter letting them?
We do send information. It's challenging, honestly, to get emails from the Italian Food Trail, from Italian restaurants anyway. So we do our best with the capacity. We have like 2 full-time staff people, and to reach out to all of them, we try to do that, but that doesn't necessarily mean we hit everybody. But we do try and at least send emails and follow up with phone calls. When we were doing the passport and coordinating the passport program, that's what we did. And again, we're just trying to get the message out there. We'll post on our Facebook page. We'll post on our Italian Food Trail Facebook page as well, encouraging people that want to participate to do so.
So how long have you been doing? Is this the second year or?
So the Italian Food Trail has been in existence since 2018.
Oh, wow.
And this is a new program within the Italian Food Trail, this passport program. In the past, we've done digital passports where people would take their cell phones, download an app, and then they would check in at different locations. We've done that for like 2 or 3 years, I think. We found that people were cheating and it was costly to do the app. So we decided we were going old school again. And typically the people that are participating are an older audience that might not want to download an app or do anything on their cell phones like that. So we're going old school again, paper, stickers, and so we've done several different ways over the years.
Thank you.
Welcome. Item 10 is to execute a letter of support for develop the McDonald's state capital budget request to resurface and revitalize the recreational courts at Woodland Park, tennis courts, pickleball courts, and basketball courts, and to authorize Tony Bernard, president of the board, to execute said letter on behalf of the board. And this was submitted by Gina Magazine, KO Consulting, and she's in here today. If you'd like to ask her any questions. Or Gina, if you'd like to say anything regarding.
Yeah, Gina
Yeah.
Maxey, KO Consulting. This was on behalf of my colleague. I submitted it, obviously. But yeah, I mean, McDonald is their total project cost is gonna be $107,000. They're gonna be in the Parks and Rec fund of the capital budget. They're requesting $90,000. So they're gonna put up the other $17,000. But
Mr. Chairman, just a comment on that. That's great. But I wanted to note, last night I just happened to catch WYTV's game of the week, and they had McDonald basketball on, and their team is undefeated this season, 21-0. They were undefeated in football this season until the championship game, and now they're undefeated in basketball with 1 game left to go. I think Friday night they play, and Drew Jazak, one of their players, scored his 1,000th point last night. So something's in the water in McDonald. I think that needs to be recognized, that you're undefeated in football, and now, knock on wood, they'll finish out an undefeated season of basketball for Little McDonald.
Hopefully you didn't jinx them.
Yeah. We'll see. Thanks. But tennis courts, pickleball courts, and basketball courts will only help the kids when they're out of school become even better athletes than what they are.
It's good to see youth participating in sports, you know.
Okay, item 11, to approve the updated purchasing narrative to reflect new software as well as departmental level ability to produce their own purchase orders. And this was placed on by Shara Taylor. I have the purchasing narrative. I want to give it.
Sure. Shara Taylor, Commissioner's Office. This just really is reflecting new software and departmental level ability to produce their own purchase orders. Prior to this, being looked at, it actually just indicated that the auditor's office printed all of the purchase orders and it was the old IBM system. So the only wording that is updated is what is actually a process for doing a purchase order.
Time to read it, but
Sure.
I don't see that there's any, I don't know. There's any issue with that. Has it been,
It just really states what happens when you produce a purchase order. And it's all departmental level anymore. Prior to this, they used to go through the auditor's office and be approved by the auditor's office, and then they would print them.
okay.
And now every department has the capability of printing their own purchase orders.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Eliminating a step.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's just really, it's more efficient. It's more efficient.
this makes sense.
And it had not been updated in years. Even the last one that was done in 2022 was reflecting what was going on before 2018.
Why would they run it through the auditor?
Well, it used to be, that's how it was done. Everything was done through the auditor's office because it's a really old system, the IBM, it's basically a DOS-based system, which is super old. And that's what we ran on that till 2018. We went live, I want to say it was January of 18 with Munis. So that was when the software change took place.
Man,
For updates.
yeah.
That's all.
Item 12 is a routine liquor permit transfer, class B5, Chet's Yellow Dog to a local tap and grill. And that's in Mecca Township. Item 13 is to authorize the commissioner's clerk to advertise for project for 2026, general public hearing for the Trumbull County Community Development Block Grant Program. Now, it was placed on by the Planning Commission.
Nick Coggins, Trumbull County Planning Commission. This is a general public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant Program through the state. Every other year we have allocation. That was what we got last year. And every year we are still eligible to go after some of the competitive grants. In order to be eligible for those competitive grants, you need to have a public hearing and after the public hearing, have any project specifics. So this is the first step in having a public hearing, getting input from the community, see which grants we're eligible to go after and which grants we will be pursuing this year. So this is just step one for us to continually go after those competitive grants from the state for the CDBG programs.
Team 17 were placed on by the county engineer's office, and Gary Schaefer's here to speak to those.
Thanks, Lisa. Gary Schaefer, Engineers Office. Number 14 is to approve the agreement with Smolin Engineering for services for the design for the new vault covered bridge enhancement project. We got some top funds, 80% through Eastgate a couple of years ago. So we're going to do some sprucing up of that bridge. Probably the best way to put it. New floorboards, put in some timber railing inside the bridge to prevent damage. And hopefully get another 170, 180 years out of that bridge. Some painting, some gutter work. So nice project, about $400,000 project of construction. You can see there that agreement was small, 48.5. Just for approval on that. Number 15 is the authorization to advertise for letters of interest for the West Market Street Bridge. That's the downtown bridge by Huntington, and that's going to be for construction management services. 16 is to seeking authorization to advertise for bids for Miles Carver Salt Springs Road resurfacing project. There's a project we applied for the Weathersfield Road, but we applied not through Eastgate for funding for that. They received the federal funding. No, we're going to administer that to our LPA program. So we'll have to bid and we'll oversee the construction for that also. 17 is to authorize the clerk to advertise for bids for the West Market Street. These are going to be going out Monday, due March. It's someday in March 19th, maybe. It's out there a ways. So hopefully we'll get that thing started this spring. That would be our hope. And it's gonna be broken up. Questions?
Gary, just on the Newton Falls covered bridge. Is that the one that just got hit again by another car?
Just got hit again, yeah, pickup truck hit that thing back in.
No, will their insurance be covering some of that instead of us paying? for
That's
it?
our hopes. We're still looking for the police report to get insurance information and begin coordination. I got the estimates on and I thought it'd be. So yeah, I don't want to hold off on getting that work done, but that work will get done. It'll be painted before this project. So we're not going to incur any cost on that. We always do bill that to the insurance if we can. I mean, this bill, remember, it's a $750,000 repair we did a few years back. I think it was 22. We got hit, we got the work done in 2024. Yeah, we always chase the insurance if we can. We have them pay for that up front before we even authorize the contract. Is
there any way to deter? These, I mean,
This
it's just the
tap
second
project,
hand.
It's gonna put railing up at least, so, we're gonna extend, and that accident kind of gave me the idea to take the railing and extend it off of the bridge and kind of turn it out and around.
Right.
So as you're entering that bridge, I mean, if you're a larger truck, you're gonna go through any kind of railing we can put up. Years ago, we took some measures to prevent them from hitting, they were hitting some of the upper cross members as they were coming in because of the lighting. So we put some more reflectors in there, and at least it's prevented that, knock on wood. But now people are coming in, hitting the bridge on the inside of it. This one's happened to hit on the outside. Didn't do any structural damage. It's good. Just more superficial side.
What's the traffic count on that bridge? Do you know?
It's more than you think.
I know,
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking.
I bet you're approaching 1,000 cars a day. And you wouldn't know it till you shut it down for a week to do some repairs. And we get a lot of calls. When are you going to open it up? When are you going to open up? Because it does save some time. People cut the corner there instead of going through downtown, hit the next light or two.
What's the traffic count on the other bridge going downtown?
I don't know.
I just be curious. If you come across it, nothing.
Yeah. People like using it. I've actually been out there doing inspections, and this was within the last 6 months, where somebody will stop and talk to me, hey, what's going on with the bridge? And they used to live in Newton Falls and they moved out years ago, but they were just in town and wanted to drive across the bridge. So it's really important to the community. We do the best we can to keep that thing open. So anytime it does get damaged, we're out there, we inspect, we can open it back up. When we do the work, we do it. We got to keep it closed down, Hopefully these are the repairs. We'll do that tap project. Hopefully early next year. Like I said, another 200 years out of it.
Yeah, it's a trademark for Newton Falls.
Yeah. It is, but it's just like your house. You got to continually do work. It's not your typical bridge. You build it and forget about it for 40 years. It's something every 10 years we're back out there with a substantial amount of money. With some work to it.
That's a conversation piece too. Well worth
Yes.
refurbishing.
Probably fun for the children right through it too.
Yeah.
But how many covered bridges do we have in the county? Just the one. Is that featured in our guide somewhere?
Yep. Featured in the video, featured in the guide. We just finished, and we have pads now for a walking tour because they just got that National Register of Historic Places designation in downtown Newton Falls. So we've been working with them. We have little stories or snippets about each of the buildings that is highlighted in that National Register. And literally just last week, we delivered those to Newton Falls, but we have them in our office as well. And it is highlighting the bridge in that as well. And Beth Cott was Carmichael, Trumbull County Tourism.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Item 18 is to authorize Rick Hernandez, County Commissioner, to execute the subdivision of participation and release form and any other required documents on behalf of Trumbull County as a governmental entity to allow Trumbull County to participate in the value drug confidential settlement agreement dated January 26, 2026. This was originally submitted by Shana Sachs. And then Attorney Danzo suggested that we put this on because it is time sensitive. Shana Sachs is available if you'd like to talk to her during executive session. If not,
So just to be clear, this isn't part of the 1.2 or the 2.50. This is another, this isn't Galucci.
Yes.
This is Galucci. Is this the,
This is a.
did we get the
Yeah.
portion, did we get the 1.25? Okay, so we have another coming
Yes.
from the opioid settlement.
With the other one, this is a different settlement.
This is another settlement.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear that we were
So this is an additional to the 2.5.
additional.
Yes.
Do we know how much this is?
This is the first time I've
Think we
seen
know how much it's gonna be?
No.
Yeah, she
I don't
did not
know.
even suggest a figure. She.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I haven't been notified about any amounts or anything, so you have a number,
What it
No.
shows value drug confidential settlement, so
Yeah.
it sounds like.
you have a confidential to the commissioners? Or if I were to make a call?
No, if you talk to her, I'm sure she will. But that's even the name of, that tells me that it's going to be very
She
generic.
approved the language that's in the generals.
When they say value drugs, I mean, this is like Walmart. Like pharmaceutical.
Probably.
Bill Danzo, prosecutor's office. I'm not, I think that's the name of the company, but I'm not sure where they operate pharmacies in Ohio or elsewhere.
We already
I'm not
had it
sure.
somewhere.
And my recollection is in the materials that they had sent over, there was an amount that was sort of like the overall settlement amount that's going to be distributed apparently according to like the existing formula that they have for their county clients and their government clients. But I think the details would need to come from Shayna on this.
Okay, well, so that's gonna come by DocuSign to me. All right, when I get it, and then I'll discuss it with you then,
Yeah, that's
and the commissioners. Okay. We'll take the money. I mean, not a problem. It's just, we don't know how much it is.
Okay, items 19 and 20 are to appoint members to the Mental Health and Recovery Board, and this is the data that April Haraway sent over. So we're probably gonna have to take it and read it.
Yeah, we
Let
can
me know
look
in
at
the
these.
morning.
Fill in names later.
Yes. You can even fill them in at the meeting if you like.
Did this include the current members too now, or is this the new applicants?
That's the new map.
These are all new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good decision.
Two positions. And we have how many here? 8?
I think there's 6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a look at it.
All right, so that's all the items on the agenda. Anybody, public have any comments? Maybe I don't read. Yes, Ned.
Nick Coggins, Trumbull County Planning Commission. I just wanted to make an announcement. An email was sent out to the commissioners and other planning commission members. But Director Julie Green was selected as an honoree for the League of Women Voters of Greater Youngstown's Women's Hall of Fame. Julie's being recognized for her dedicated public service, her leadership in Trumbull County, and her tireless work on behalf of townships, municipalities, and residents, not only through her professional work, but through her volunteer work. That Hall of Fame ceremony is going to be held on Thursday, March 19th at the Jewish Gypsy Lane. If anybody's interested in attending, please reach out to me or Zach Steiner of our office, and we'll get you the information on how you can get tickets so that you can attend. It's, I think, a very big award across the county and very well deserving for Director Green. So, thank you.
Okay, Commissioners, you have any?
First, Commissioner, there's some articles in the paper about dead geese. I get some calls this week myself, probably because my other career as a wildlife biologist. They found some down in Perkins Park, Packard Park, Kent State Trumbull. They found a few around Mosquito Lake, and even WKBN found a couple of crows in the field behind their studio. Avian flu is going around. There's an outbreak of it here in Ohio. It is contagious to humans and pets. If your dog gets into dead bird or a sick or dying bird, you can catch it. The way it's spread mostly is, and the reason there's an outbreak now is things froze up so bad. All the birds were concentrated where there was open water. And when they poop, it gets in the water and then they wash their faces, preen, feed in that same water. And that's what's spreading it among the duck and goose population. When an animal dies, then you get the crows and the vultures and even hawks on dying animals will eat the carcasses and they get it. And there was an instance of a bald eagle that had it recently. Last year on Berlin Lake, they had over 6,000 birds that died. Didn't get much press, but there are some refuges across the country. In California, where more than 1 million birds die at one time in a national refuge over migration. And there are outbreaks across the country. The health department has identified that it is influenza A that is affecting these birds here locally. It's not huge pockets of birds, but they would advise if you see a dead bird in your yard, don't touch it. Don't let your dog get it. If you do touch it, use gloves. Mask up before you grab it and put it in the trash. Double bag it, throw it in the trash. They don't recommend that you call the health department on all of them now because they know it's here. But if you find a bigger group, like if you've got a pond and you've got 8 or 10 geese, or you have a bigger die off, they do want to know about that. So you can call the Trumbull County Health Department at our local number that's advertised on our county websites, or you can call ODNR's Akron District Office and report it, and then they'll send somebody out to follow it. So it is something not to be taken lightly because it is a respiratory type of a flu that is real hard to shake in humans, especially in young kids and elderly. So it's a common outbreak. Mother Nature's way of thinning the population. Unfortunately, we had some really cold weather here that brought them all together, kind of like a classroom full of second graders. One's got the chicken pox, the next week 5 of them get it. When you have them concentrated on the Mahoning River, Perkins Park, where there was open water, they concentrated together and they got it. So just be aware.
How long does it take to cycle to get rid of it?
As the water opens up and the geese start to separate and go to their own places, you'll get less and less coming in contact with water that's tainted. It'll dilute through their feces. And then the worst thing you can do right now is feed geese and ducks. If you feed them, they're going to come together. They're going to poop where they eat. It's going to affect the population. So they are advising don't feed. And if you start seeing dead birds in your bird feeder, get rid of all the feed. Wash your bird feeder with a disinfectant or Clorox, and leave the food on your bird feeder for a couple weeks until it passes through. Or all you're going to do is keep infecting more birds.
Yes,
With that in mind, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I did make a phone call to Gino DeFabio, Mahoney County Commissioner. Lisa, I spoke to Lisa. We were going to send a letter. We have agreed to have a meeting. I don't have a place and time yet. I believe it would be a neutral area. The idea of meeting with the Mahoney County Commissioners, with the Trumbull County Commissioners, is to work together as the valley, to come together and, in promoting our valley and promoting economic, any kind of economic activity together. My understanding is that this has not happened before, but I don't know. I wasn't a commissioner here at the time, so I think it's a great idea to have, the commissioners meet with the Mahoney County Commissioners, so that we can look at the whole effort here as a valley, not just Trumbull County, but Mahoning County, and put our heads together and, stimulate economic activity. So, Lisa, did you send that letter yet?
No, I haven't. I have not sent that yet. But I did want to let you know, I do think that there is a luncheon coming up that's yearly put on by the Port Authority.
Yeah,
We
it's
do
next
attend
month or April.
Yeah, you do meet with them at that.
We do meet with them at that, you're correct,
But
but
this
this
is
would be
something
this would be the 3 commissioners, you know, to assemble to really, you know, talk about the valley here.
What do you think if we met out at the airbase? Because I've talked
That'd be a
to,
good idea.
I've talked to Anthony Trevino about maybe setting up a tour for us. That the two counties, we could tour it and then possibly
Right.
we'd sit down and have lunch out there and I just thought maybe that would be a good.
Yeah, neutral location, that's
And it's something that we're both involved with.
right.
And that would be good too, if we can maybe ask the Port Authority to facilitate and host a meeting. That way it's not us hosting a public meeting or them hosting it. And we can go information wise and learn from both of them and ask them if they can host it and facilitate it.
And have him send, because I talked to Mr. Trevino about setting up a tour for the airbase. I think we need to do that. And we've got both counties there doing that.
Well, I will definitely talk with Commissioner DeFabio about it, and
You wanna
I'll
talk to
mention,
Mr. Trevino too. And
I could talk to Anthony,
Could
and-
you be talking to them and
sure, I could do that, and this is just something that I think would,
I
you know,
think it's an
benefit
excellent idea.
us as a valley in general, and you know, keep us all on the same page as to the direction everybody's moving here.
And with the expansion of the airport out there, I mean, that's
Right.
huge for the valley.
Another thing I'd like to mention, and we, Commissioner, you shared it, I shared it. Kimberly Clark is a hiring process now. So anyone looking for a very good, you know, paying job, I would, you know, I would tell them to go to Kimberly Clark's site. I did include it. You included it on, you know, Facebook. But they have a site now that you can actually apply for employment. And I'm not mistaken, I think their lowest paying jobs are starting out at somewhere around the $27-28 an hour. So plus benefits. So if you're looking for a job, I would highly recommend that you look at Kimberly Clark, and they're going to be, you know, hiring those positions. So that's all I have.
Mr. Chairman, we need to start talking about the budget again also. That we scheduled a meeting for that. And in regards to the budget too, there's rumors flying around too that we operated on a deficit last year. Do you have any thoughts on that or
Yeah,
what?
I saw that. Well, first of all, I agree with you. I think we need to start looking at the budget. See, let the departments and office holders know what their budget's gonna be. But a direct response to your question, yeah, I saw that where someone was saying that county was operating on a $4 million deficit last year. I saw that and I checked with our financial person this morning and asked if that was true. And I was told that no, which I didn't think it was true, that at no point in time did we operate on a $4 million deficit budget. I don't think we operated on a dollar budget, much less 4 million. So
We were never in the red at
yeah,
any
I
point.
think that's a misstatement, and I would hope that whoever said that would correct that, because that's just totally untrue.
No, we did. We were given a budget last year. We made more than what we expected. So we budgeted what we were told by our budget commission. That figure came out to be about $4 million higher in sales tax that we collected. And we were able to pay every bill, no layoff, operate totally in the black. There are funds besides the general fund that we have access to utilize, which we did, which we annually do. The lottery fund, I'm sorry, the casino fund, the Medicare fund. We didn't tap into the opiate fund, but we can use that. There are other funds out there that we can't use that are a regular part of government business. So we to say we operate on a deficit makes it sound like
So
we borrowed into the next year. We were further. That is absolutely not true.
well,
It's not
we have to
deficit
realize
spending.
We can
We
only
worked well with our auditor to come up with a good number, and all the bills were paid by the end of the year.
and we can only budget the money that we're told that we have. Okay, and then when additional dollars come in, then we can allocate those dollars to where we deem necessary. But if we're only allocated 70 million, we can't submit a budget for 80 million.
But if we bring in more money at the end of the year, which we always operate conservatively, and the numbers we got from our budget commission were conservative. And we did bring in more money than anticipated, which is good. That happened.
And we didn't put it in the bank, we used it.
That's right. We used it, and actually there is still even a little bit of carryover from last year that we see in this year's budget from money that was allocated that was not used by departments that was given back at the end of the year, which will carry over to this year for this year's budget. So deficit spending never occurred under the watch of this board in any of the past years that I've been involved with it, at least.
No, I agree with that.
Oh, commissioners, and I have a comment about it, and I'm just gonna say it. We were given that by the auditor. The auditor came here and gave us numbers. Those numbers evidently weren't the numbers that we should have budgeted by. Unfortunately, we don't have a budget director, but we are saving the county money not having a budget director. We are saving the county money by not having a county administrator. We're doing this all on our own. So those numbers that are given to us, we have to take that into consideration and then delegate that as needed. But yes, in agreement. You know, when the auditor comes, gives us the numbers, that's what we work by. How else are you going to do it?
That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
And we're on the auditor, there's a budget commission that gave us those numbers. It wasn't one person. We followed the direction and we were able to pay everything. We got conservative with our budget. But at no time were we in a deficit. At no time were we in the red. At no time do we have to borrow money from the future, or did we have to tap into non-traditional ways to cover the bills. We had that within what we do as government business, and we did it responsibly. And I'm proud of the way we all handled it last year. And I'm looking forward to tackling this year's budget the same way. We're going to work within our means, and we're gonna make a lot of good progress this year with the budget that we have. And I feel comfortable about our financial situation. There's always going to be naysayers, backseat quarterbacks, but we lived it. We went through it. And I think the proof is in the facts of looking at how much money we brought in, how much money we spent, and how much we still have in all of those accounts. And some of those accounts are growing, that are replenished, or there's some that we didn't even touch.
Well, every year is a
So we
challenge.
still got to keep a grip on our budget, that's for sure.
Every year is a challenge. I mean, and we start out the same way each year, we can only.
Got to be careful with the taxpayers' money, that's for sure. And we are, and we've been delegating it as we see no layoffs. And like last year, you had mentioned, Commissioner, with what we were given, the departments did their due diligence, and we're still in business. So.
And we need the departments to.
And we did a little extra. We had some money that was turned in from other departments, carryover, if you want to call it, that we did some improvements with the sheriff's department. We bought a few more vehicles out of that money than we needed to. We fixed our evidence room. I mean, the money that we used was used wisely. It wasn't like we were borrowing from our future to do it.
Your voice is going down. So
My voice is going
that
down.
means you're talking too much.
I hope you didn't pick up one of those birds.
See me coughing up feathers right when I get to the office.
Okay.
You got to have a
Dan,
little
do
bit
you
of
have
fun.
anything?
Nothing.
Anybody else?
I do want to commend 27 ran a really nice story about the John Hickey, and he's so proud of that building he's going into because at a fire department he's wanting to go there for a while, and the media did a really good coverage of that. I guess I'll conclude all the media with that of highlighting the way we're saving money by not having to build a new building for the coroner and utilizing what we already had, something that the counties already have in our inventory without having to break ground on a new building, and saving the capital dollars by doing that. So thank you for.
Well, again, I think the important issue there is that, the board recognizes, the need for coroner's office. We asked the coroner to have patience, and we would take care of it. When we sat down and could figure it out, and the board, we did figure it out, and we're making the move to move EMA and the coroner be in there without borrowing money, without raising taxes, okay? So it took us a little extra time, but you know what? We're gonna get it done, okay? And there are a lot of people that helped us in trying to find the funds for that. Okay?
Sure.
They know who they are, okay?
And as far as the ARPA funds, we didn't know the hospital was gonna close. The hospital closed and left our coroner homeless in October of 24. So he had to move over and we had to allocate all that money by December of 24 for ARPA to make sure that it was allocated by then. Money was already spent on ARPA before we even knew there was a problem. He could have still been functioning there had the hospital not closed. That was an emergency situation that happened. We made the best of it, and he's going to be very happy now, and it's all going to work out great for both agencies, EMA and the coroner, as a result of it.
Well, again, I'd like to thank him and then also the board members of EMA for having the patience because, you know, we knew what they wanted, but it was on our radar. We just needed some time to figure it out.
Same with the dog pound, same with 911. They have boards.
We hear.
There are steps we need to do. We can't just snap our fingers and make everything happen overnight. Government is a process. And I know the wheels of government move slower than we'd like, but they're still moving. They're still moving forward. And we're moving Trumbull forward with these. And we're going to see some results out of the dog pound 911 very soon. Hopefully, in my opinion, within the next month, we're going to see some major steps that this board's going to take.
Steps
Commissioner, I do have.
steps that don't result in this also.
That's right.
Mr. Chairman, I have another, something that entered my mind. Speaking about property tax, and we've been taking a lot of hits concerning this. Again, and I've been criticized about making comments about being given the power. In other words, the state punted the ball to the commissioners, being given the power to be having authority to do something that my comment was that we really don't want to have to do. What I meant by that was this isn't a position that we really want to be as commissioners. Commissioners are not to be in a spot to where we're working with these property taxes. People have to remember that they vote in levies. Those levies have consequences for schools. Those extra monies that are coming out of your pocket are because of those levies. A lot of it has to do with the levies. So just to be clear, and I think we're all on the same page, we're still looking at that and we took it under advisement. This doesn't even come to fruition until 27, no matter what we would choose to do. But, and as you know, we had the superintendents here and now we have the trustees that want to have a meeting on the 25th with the commissioners concerning their budget. So this is a precarious position that the commissioners across the state have been put in to have the authority and power to do these things when you have this side opposing this side and the commissioners being in the middle. It's great to have the power and authority, but not when you're sandwiched in like we've been sandwiched in. The state needs to do more. We had discussed it. They need to step up and give us 2% more on that sales tax and let us maybe credit our residents back in the property taxes. This is the only way we're going to be able to get it done. We can't afford to make decisions based on these crazy notions that if you get rid of the property tax or if you lessen the property tax, you could still offer the same services. When an ambulance comes to your doorstep in 2 or 3 minutes and saves a life, that means something. If that ambulance doesn't show up, there's going to be complications. So there's been on local radio, I'm not going to mention any names, but I will say it's AM radio, that the commissioners are not doing their due diligence. I personally take some offense to it because I did mean what I said. We've been put in a position that we really don't want to be put in. So I'm considering, as well as I believe the commissioners are considering, a credit. I can't say what credit. We haven't voted on it yet, but we know it doesn't happen till 27. So I'm sure that we'll get there. But I don't know how much we'll get there. I'm not sure about the owner occupancy and the homestead. Those numbers, we're still looking at that, taking it under advisement. So I wanted to put it out there because there have been a lot of stuff being said out there about property tax lately, and the state needs to step it up.
Oh, I agree with that. I think the one thing we learned from meeting with the superintendents is we are on the same team as them. You know, we're not anti-school board. I don't want to say we have an enemy because that sounds really bad. But I do think before we even think about raising any more money off of our citizens, we need to get some more money back from the state out of all the money we send down there. I think that's our first step, is to rally together with other commissioners and let our state reps and state senators know even 0.25%, which would be $8 million, would be very helpful. If we're going to help seniors, we're going to help those pay the bills that need to pay the bills to keep them in their homes. So I'm glad the board is, we're unified with that. We don't want to raise taxes at all. If anything, we want to get some of the tax money back that we've already paid. And we're committed to that. We're going to make that happen in some way, shape, or form. I think there's a compromise to be had with the school boards. And I'm looking forward to meeting with the trustees. And I think they'll be on the same page too. They've been getting screwed by the state for years. And they know it's not us doing it. You know, we collect the taxes, we send them to Columbus. Columbus disperses, it tells us what to disperse back to the townships. And it's not our call. So we're doing everything we can within our power to lower the burden. And we're going to keep fighting on the side of the people to do that, even against our own party and our own state. Right now, we've been vocal opponents. And I've got feedback too. Columbus isn't real happy hearing us say we want our hand in their pocket, but that's the way it's got to be.
And Mahoney County commissioners are on the same page. This meeting, we could discuss some of those things too.
Well, I've been saying for months that the states should be sending us back more our tax dollars than what they have. We all know it's been publicized. They have $4 billion in the rainy day fund. It's way too much money. I think we should have anywhere. The least amount is 1%, but I would settle for 2%. I think they have that kind of money down there that they could give the counties. And I also think that with the state's help, that we can lobby the federal government and have the federal government start giving more money back to the states, and in turn they could give money back to us. Because I don't think we're getting what we should be getting from the federal government or the state. And I just think the tax dollars are out there. It's the people's tax dollars. They've taken it from the taxpayers, and it's time for them to start returning it to the taxpayers and start taking care of our people, especially the seniors and the veterans. Okay, those on fixed income. And I just think that the county, all the counties, 88, we have to join hands together and lobby the state and make them hear us loud and clear that we need more of our tax dollars back. And then once we're on board with that, we can help them go to the federal government and say, okay, federal government, now it's your turn to start returning some of these tax dollars back in. And I've said that from day one, and I'm going to say that until I leave here. So
$1 billion in the interest of that $1 billion split over 88 counties based on our population would take care of every school board need and every township need just on $1 billion. And they would still have $3 billion left in the rainy day fund. So I would hope that they would consider that.
And they keep collecting it every year. That fund just keeps going up and up and up. And our shares just keep going down and down and down. We need to change that.
Clearly, we need.
And I agree with you. The state legislators, they're not happy with us, but you know what? I don't really care.
Well, they keep wanting to put us out of business. I mean, they want rid of townships. Okay, on a state level, think about it. Look what they're doing with the townships. The townships, they rely solely on property tax. And now they're saying, lower that number so that you could become a municipality and you could charge an income tax. But that isn't going to even help you.
With some of the towns,
5,000 residents.
You have to have so many. You have to have a certain population.
Yes.
Come.
And they're trying to lower that number now so that you can make a 5,000 resident count, a municipality. Now you're going to have to charge more income tax. It's got to come out of somewhere. So I don't think people are realizing that these services don't come free. And
Well, they don't come free, but they have to help us, the state, say, bring it back to the counties.
I agree. Well, I think we're on the right path and we're unified together in that. So I think we can make great strides with that as a board if we stay unified in our message.
Can we sue them, Mr. Danzo, for more money?
Assuming the state's different.
I mean, it was a joke, but could you though?
It's difficult. That's all I'll say.
Well, it would get their attention though. Right?
It might.
nothing further.
All right, with that, then I guess I will make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
Mr. Malloy,
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. Bernard.
Yes.
Okay.